Hey guys, welcome to Herding Little Cows. I was going to do this video earlier in the evening so I could get to bed earlier, but I've been talking to a good friend from Canada who gave me a call, and that's been refreshing to just have a nice chat with her and be able to see what's going on in her family and be able to just see how to pray for her. And then a local friend who reached out to chat tonight and ask some questions that we've been writing back and forth. So if I don't get back to you tonight, sorry, I'm going to be heading to bed soon. But we are 38 weeks, 3 days, I think. Today is October 1st. So in my video last night, I mentioned, oh, maybe baby dropped or whatever. Baby definitely dropped. Baby is low, and I can definitely feel in my back and things that things are changing, but still no baby. This could still be weeks. Who knows what's going on? So that was today. We went out and we got Uriah's hand looked at the doctor. I think I had mentioned in one of my other videos that Uriah had burnt his hand last week. We took him to the doctor. We've been faithfully doing his appointments and everything. So today was the last appointment. They were able to get back the skin, and the skin underneath looks good, and he will be healed up here in no time. So that's good. One less thing to think about. And we got out to go to the chiropractor today for Mark and Josiah. Different people in our family see the chiropractor, but today was Mark and Josiah's turn. And what else did we do? It was just rainy this afternoon, so we stayed home. My family let me get a nap, and then we stayed home and played some games that some friends have blessed us with, and the kids had a great time. I don't know if you've ever played the game Headbands, but you put a card on your head that says, I am a chair, or something like that, and you have to, like, everyone else can see it except for you, and you have to ask questions, yes or no questions, to try to guess what you are. And it was pretty funny playing with the whole family. Even Grandma joined in on the fun at the end. So that was good. We have tomorrow we're supposed to go for an ultrasound for baby to see how he's dealing with the gestational diabetes that I have. So mine is pretty well controlled by diet, and so I'm only going every couple weeks for an ultrasound here at the end to make sure he's dealing well. And they're going to check him on 4 things. They're going to check his size. They're going to check his movements. They're going to check the fluid levels, the amniotic sac, and they're going to check practice breathing. And I think out of those 4 things, he can get 1 or 2 points depending how well he's doing. An 8 would be the best number he could get. And so that's how they just gauge if they're doing well in there. And I'm not sure. Last time he did great within the few minutes that we were there. I'm not sure how long they wait to get that score, like how many movements he has to make or anything. And I'm not sure what happens if he doesn't get the score. I think it would be to go for a non-stress test, which is where they hook you up to a monitor and see if you're having contractions and see how often baby moves. And sometimes they'll give you like a sugary drink to try to get baby moving around. I've done those in past pregnancies, but I haven't this time. So I don't know exactly what the procedure is if he doesn't get the numbers, but I think he will. He's still kicking around great. And last time he did great on the thing. No reasons that I would be worried. And then we will have a midwife appointment directly after that to just talk about what the results were and how baby's doing this week. And then tomorrow night is prayer meeting that the olders will go to if Mark is feeling well. Mark and Virginia and Naomi would go to that while I stay home and put kids to bed. So that's the plan if no baby comes. But if baby comes, tonight would be a great night for baby to come, anywhere till Thursday morning, because my mom is off. And so it makes it easier for planning that mom is just at her house in the backyard, and I can just call her up and say, hey, walk up to the house. But God has a plan, God has timing. And it's hard to be impatient for this baby when the 4-year-old and the 7-year-old in prayers tonight prayed that baby would come in God's perfect timing. So I know it's a hard wait, but seeing their faith and their I'm not saying that they're regenerate and they totally understand the gospel or anything, but just seeing that they know how we pray of waiting on God's timing and wanting to be doing things in his will. It was just neat to see tonight at bedtime. So that's what's going on. I was just going to mention a little bit about gestational diabetes tonight, which is something I've been dealing with. I dealt with it in my last pregnancy, so my 7th pregnancy was the first time I had dealt with it. And I didn't actually fail my 1-hour test. I've always done the tests up until last pregnancy, but they always have made me really sick. The drink, something about the drink makes me feel really, really bad. So I had been given a glucometer by somebody who was just getting rid of it. I think like grandma passed away and she didn't need her glucometer anymore, so they asked if we would like one. I think it was with some of Mark's issues, someone thought we might want one. So I had one anyway. And I asked if I could do a week of taking my blood sugars rather than doing the 1-hour test. And when I did that week, my numbers for my fasting were a little higher than they wanted. In pregnancy, you would have to talk to your doctor. Different doctors want different numbers, but mine wanted my fasting to be under 95. So when I woke up in the morning, to have a 95 or under. And after a meal, they wanted me to take it at 2 hours after a meal and have it be under 120. So when I did that 1 week, last pregnancy, my fasting numbers were a little high, and I was able to tweak things and I think last time I was able to eat a snack before bed, and that made my numbers better. So I didn't have to go on any major protocols or anything. They sent me to the dietitian once, but my numbers all stayed low, and I was able to just watch that I didn't eat too many carbs. So like if the family was eating noodles for supper, I would cook up some cabbage and have my spaghetti sauce on top of cabbage instead of on noodles. This pregnancy, they wanted me to check earlier because if you've had it in the past, you're more likely to have it the next time. So I think they had me check around 16 weeks or something. I don't remember the exact number. And when I checked, my fastings were a little high. My meals were still fine, but my fastings were high this pregnancy. So again, found out things I had to do with this one. Between pregnancies, I had done something called intermittent fasting, or time restricted eating, I think is the other name, where I would wake up and I wouldn't have breakfast right away. I would wait and eat until 9 or 10 when I was actually feeling hungry. And then I would eat 3 meals over the course of the day, finishing each meal within an hour. And then my last meal, I always ate between 5 and 6 o'clock at night and didn't have snacks afterwards. So this was between pregnancies. I was nursing, but I didn't start this until baby was probably a year old. So he wasn't exclusively nursing. I don't want people to take my medical advice from this video and make their baby sick or anything. But I had been eating that way before I got pregnant. So during this pregnancy, I was finding that I wasn't hungry after supper. I was used to not having a snack. And I found the nights that I did have a snack, at this 16, 20 weeks, whatever it was that I was testing, the nights that I would have a snack, even if it was just a protein snack, my numbers would still be higher in the morning. If I didn't have a snack and just ate a good full meal at supper time, my numbers would be low in the morning. So again, you'd have to talk to your doctor to see what they would want you to do. But I listened to my body, and I will have a high protein snack if I'm actually hungry in the evenings, which I have been these last few weeks because baby's in there growing a lot. But I haven't been as hungry as I was. I've been more hungry now. I was not hungry at this time that I was testing. And so I was just making sure that I was getting plenty of calories during the day. But some things that I did to change things up was just looking at the number of carbs I was eating. There are some low carb wraps. I haven't tried any of the low carb bread, so I can't tell you about that, but low carb tortillas or lavash bread, both are good alternatives to be able to eat. I would eat like salad and meat or eggs and cheese on a wrap instead of on bread if we were doing sandwiches or something. Eating a lot more vegetables in place of things like noodles or potatoes. Like tonight, my family had mashed potatoes with meat and cheese and stuff on top, and I had salad instead. So being able to prep things, making sure I was really looking at the protein aspect of eating things. I'm not a huge meat eater, so just making sure I was getting enough protein during the day. But there are ways to be able to control gestational diabetes through just diet and exercise. Oh, also the exercise portion. Walking after every meal definitely helped with some of my numbers as my numbers started to creep up. And there are times that your body can't handle the overload of the blood sugars and baby and the placenta and all of that. And if you need to go on insulin, then go ahead and do it. I was never in a high enough category that I had to go on the insulin. I wanted to try to do it as best I could with just my body doing it, but don't feel like you failed. It's something that your body is doing extra work with the baby. And so don't feel like, well, Sarah controlled it with her diet, so I can do that. Sometimes that doesn't work, and go find whatever is needed to help keep your baby healthy. Just know that there is an option of trying to do it with diet before you just go on insulin. It means being self-controlled, but it definitely can be done, or at least tried before you go on medicine. So that is my story tonight. I'm going to stand up and show you my belly. I'm going to try, because my belly is much smaller tonight than it has been these past few weeks. I don't know if you can see, but I can't even move the camera. I can barely show you a belly because he moved so much. He's not there anymore. So that's the size of my 38-week belly. It was bigger. It was up here. It went out more, but he's hiding inside. When I sit down, you can barely even tell I have a belly. So hopefully he will be here soon. You'll see pictures on Facebook or on whatever would be my next video. I will try to do one even at the hospital. It might just be a quick, here's baby, we're done. But that's it. We will talk to you tomorrow.